Okay. We are hopefully live. I think so. Maybe. All right. I can see it on YouTube. Okay. Okay. We are live. We are live. Thank you, Rajiv ji, for again. It's nice to talk to you. Feels like a long time since we talked. But anyway, for people who are just joining, welcome everybody. We do this every other Thursday, and we talk about U.S. immigration in general. Rajiv ji is immigration lawyer. www.immigration.com is the website, and also I'll put more information in the description after the live stream so you can reach out to him if you have any question. Just a quick announcement for people who are joining or watching this later. We are going to do another special session on Saturday. That's going to be on EB1A visa or visa. Is it a visa? Is it?
Well, technically, visa is a stamp given by the U.S. consulates. So you can just say EB1A classification, but visa is generic term use, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Unless we want to become too puritanical about our
No,
term.
no, no, we don't. So, yeah. And Rajiv, is that 12 o'clock your time or my time?
I would say 12 o'clock my time.
Your time. Okay. So, 9
So
o'clock California time, 12 o'clock Eastern time, and 10:30 IST time. For people who are just joining, at least they know, or who would be watching it later. So, okay, I think we can get started. So, Rajiv ji, I've prepared few things because I was stalking you. You know how I stalk you.
of
So,
course, absolutely.
there are few things which I want to start the session with. For people who are just joining, hold on to your questions. We will take questions in like about 5-10 minutes. First thing I want to start with is the letter which you sent for the OPD
Yeah,
letter. So,
it's really interesting. What happened was a bunch of students were in touch with me on Friday, last Friday.
mhm.
So it really sounded like there wasn't anything being done. So I sent and I just tweeted an email or I tweeted a letter to USCIS and to Mr. Mayorkas, anybody that I could think of. All okay there?
Yeah, I'm just showing them the letter. So you are not seeing it, but I'm showing them the letter.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
but here's the weird thing. Then the following day, I think it was Monday, another set of students said, listen, why don't we file a lawsuit? And I said, look, I don't have time right now because I checked with our team and they were all extremely busy, with the H-1B filing and all. So everybody is extremely busy. And I said, let me reach out to other lawyers, see if somebody else can take the case. And when I reached out, American Immigration Lawyers Association counsel told me there's already a lawsuit going on. Okay.
Hmm.
So when I look at that lawsuit and I look at what we had written in our letter, everything that I had written was covered in the lawsuit. So this is a universal pain. This is not just us feeling it,
Yeah.
everybody's feeling it. So with that lawsuit, I reached out to their counsel. Oh, interestingly, I reached out to him and I said, can you take the case? And he says, I've already filed the case. I was clueless about that because it wasn't widely propagated.
Yeah.
So in any case, this morning I had a conversation with one of the students who wanted us to file a case for them anyway, because they said, well, named plaintiffs get their, when you file a class action lawsuit, you name certain people, but those people are just named plaintiffs. The entire class is covered by the class action if the class action is granted.
Hmm.
So you don't have to have 5,000 people. You can name two people and they represent 5,000. But what the government does is, this has always been the case, they'll step in and they'll say, we'll approve these two cases. Now, the problem is, you are the class counsel. You are responsible to the whole class ethically, but you're also responsible to these two individuals. What do? You have a conflict, right? So we have figured out ways to work with it. I'm not sure what other
They're
lawyers are
gonna do.
doing,
Yeah.
but this is common, right? This is very
Yeah.
common. So I told them, I said, listen, let's just wait, because on Friday, which is tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
the class council was saying that they might be coming up with some USCIS will become they are going to settle the case, so they'll give a statement, a public statement that should cover everyone.
Hmm.
So I'm waiting with the bated breath for tomorrow. I have never had to be so involved with students' issues since Tri Valley University almost 20 years ago. That
And
was when
so you're saying USCIS is gonna issue a public statement on OPT issue, right? Okay.
all OPT issues, everything that we've talked about in the letter, that should be covered because it's covered in the lawsuit.
Hmm. Yeah.
So we were independently, both of us working on the same lines.
Same thing. Okay. But and if you have to highlight like what exactly was the letter sent for the delays?
We had different situations. One we had where files were being returned too late. So
Hmm.
somebody forgot to sign the petition or check marked the wrong thing or gave the wrong um, fee, for example. By the time they get the package back, it's too late to refile it.
Yeah.
Okay. So people who contacted me today, I told them, I said, don't do anything. Just wait till tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Okay.
Okay.
So that was one issue. Another issue was if you approve my case 10 months after filing, I have like 6 months, 5 months left on my 1 year training,
Hmm.
right? So you are eating away my time. That was the second one. Third one was I filed my STEM extension. I'm trying to remember what all we were talking about. I filed my STEM extension. I can work till 180 days, but what after 180 days?
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So these were the 3 or 4 situations that we covered, and the lawsuit covers all of them.
Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll link your letter. I think it was on Twitter, which is where I found it. I mean, you posted
Twitter as well
everywhere.
as LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
It was on LinkedIn. Yeah, because I tweeted to them.
Yeah.
I kept thinking I couldn't find any email addresses. Government doesn't give out email addresses unless it's Hillary Clinton's private server.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I couldn't find any email addresses. I said, you know what? Instead of trying to FedEx this to them, I'll just tweet it to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So next thing I want to talk about is, which I think you already mentioned a little bit in the LinkedIn post. The President Biden revoked the immigration ban, and I think a lot of people are getting confused on what exactly was revoked.
Just the immigration part. I was confused too. I thought they had covered the H-1B. They have not. What they see, there are 2 proclamations, and the 10014 covered only immigrant visa ban. So he threw that out, but on the 5.2, he only threw out that portion that extended 10014. So he didn't throw out the entire 10052. So I went back and I corrected that entry, and it says it's only for immigrant visa, green cards only, nothing else right now. That expires on March 31st. And then somebody asked me on LinkedIn only, they said, well, why are they doing that? And the answer is because it's probably, I wouldn't say politically appropriate, but maybe we don't know enough about the US unemployment situation to make that decision. So in other words, if we let a lot of people in, are we killing our local employment? And actually, it's not that difficult to figure out. The unemployment in the IT industry or in the professional areas is below 3%, at least so far, what the figures that I saw. So I don't think this should be a difficult decision, but I think that's part of the problem. And part of the problem could be just politics.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then the final thing before we start Q&A is Citizenship Bill, because there's a lot of noise and talk about it.
God, yeah.
So, what is going on with that? Like, what is that bill about, and like, what's the status on it?
Okay, so let me see how much of it I remember off the top of my head. So some areas I read myself, I know for sure they are true. Some areas I was briefed on. I haven't read the laws yet, because once I started reading it, I had a headache in 20 minutes. What happens is when they give you a bill, they say, delete this and insert that. Now you got to go look at the original. And you have to figure out what was being deleted. It's not like a consolidated package. What American Immigration Lawyers Association does is they give us a more consolidated package so we can see what's going on. So I said, I'll wait for it. But what I saw and what jumped out at me, some of the things were, one, and this is the part that I read I can talk about, which was people who had PhD from US universities, accredited US universities, they had no waiting time. So like the spouse of a US citizen, today you file green card, right away you can file 485 too.
Okay.
Okay. You still have to go through the green card process through some method,
Yeah.
but you have no waiting. Number one. Number two, what I really liked was anybody who comes to the United States for graduate studies,
Mm-hmm.
they cannot be refused a visa based upon the fact that they are going to become immigrants here. So it became a dual intent visa like an H-1B.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
That means they can also file for a green card right away.
Wait. So let me understand. When you say the dual intent visa for F1,
F1. They
oh
made
wow, that is so
those
interesting.
F1 visas that are coming for graduate studies dual intent.
Hmm.
And it doesn't say so in the provision itself, but the heading of the provision is clarifying dual intent for student visas.
Hmm.
So when it says clarifying, and then they say if you are coming for graduate studies in the United States, you're not required to have a residence at home.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's like dual intent, right? So it says dual intent. It talks about dual. Looks like
Nice.
dual intent to me.
That is
Okay.
awesome. Yeah.
Now here is the interesting thing with that. I don't think I saw the word accredited institutions. So you could come for graduate studies in any college and still be exempt from or be dual intent. I think from what I remember.
Right. Right.
Okay. Then the next thing that well, some of the things now that I know what they are doing is eliminating the backlog.
Mm-hmm.
And they are doing this one of the several ways, not only one, several ways. First of all, per country limit will be gone.
Yeah.
So instead of India getting 7% and Chile getting 7%, everybody gets the same 100%.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Number two, previously, and this is something I've heard, I haven't seen it yet, because I just gave up on it after a while. My head just started bursting.
Yeah.
There was a provision that said we used to count husband, wife, and 2 children, all of them 4 visas against the total available.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so primary and all the derivatives were counted as numbers against the visas.
Yeah.
Now they will only count primary.
Okay.
That helps.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, anybody who has been waiting 10 years for a green card, they're entitled to it right now.
When you say entitled, like they can process their
They
485.
can process their 485. They can, whatever has been pending can be processed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number three, they'll recapture all the old uncaptured or wasted visas, which is over 200,000.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
We
Yeah.
don't know how far more than 200,000.
Yeah.
Then I might forget a thing or two, but this I'm just speaking from memory.
Right.
Then they added 30,000 visas to the pot, which is not a whole lot, but I think Republicans will not go for anything more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that was the backlog elimination. We did the PhDs, we talked about graduate studies. Then age out children being protected, H4 EADs were being placed into the law rather than in the regulations, where everybody who wakes up in the morning gets up and challenges it.
Yeah.
So they'll put it beyond challenge.
Was it there? I think there was something for STEM students as well, right? Maybe not.
There was it that it was the STEM PhDs? No, I think PhDs were all, but maybe I don't remember exactly. I can look up my notes. I did
fine.
put it on my LinkedIn page.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on, Yudi, it's impossible to keep track of everything.
Right.
I don't even remember what I wrote in the letter.
Yeah.
I kind of recollect the basic issues because every time I think of issue, a bunch of people's faces or tweets or emails pop up in front of me like, I have this problem. What do I do?
Yeah.
Today also, this morning, I was talking to a young lady. She had an issue and I said, you know what, do nothing, just wait until let's see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I think those were the 3 main topics I wanted to hit before we start Q&A. Again, just want to remind for, I think we have about 300 plus people that we could do another session on Saturday, 9 a.m. California time, 10:30 India time. And that's going to...
Yeah, 10:30. Yeah, okay.
And that's going to be on EB1A visa.
Extraordinary ability. Yeah. Hey, Yudi, I just thought of something. I actually put up
Google Doc.
Should we share my screen or can you put it up on your screen?
I can put it on my screen.
And what I can do is I can just follow along on my iPad.
Yep.
That would be easier.
Yeah.
Because my problem is my eyes are weird. If I take my glasses off, I can't see beyond my nose. If I keep them on, I can't read the damn screen. So, so
Yeah. I can share it. No problem. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Looks like we have a lot of questions, so we will start. We'll start with the first one, which says, "I got an invitation letter for visa for change the world model United Nation in New York, July 2021. Will I get
hmm.
visa? I'm in high school student."
Oh, yes, because you're probably going to apply for a tourist visa, and tourist visas are not being banned. The only ban you would have to worry about is the COVID-19 ban. So, if there is any restrictions on travel, quarantine, etc., make sure you read up on the US side as well as on the Indian side.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And next one is what Akshay Bhatia is asking. What is the expected time to get EB1 if one gets employed as an assistant professor at university after completing a PhD?
It's very good because, first of all, EB1A and EB1B you can premium. Okay. So, let me tell you this. This is my favorite story. A couple of years ago, we actually got a green card approval, and I don't know how that happened. We got a green card approval in 4 days
Oh,
for EB1,
wow.
all the
Wow.
way to 485. But remember, there were no interviews. Maybe it was more than 2 years. There were no interviews, and we had filed the case premium processing. So they premiumed everything and got it out to us. That
Hmm.
was amazing. Very,
Yeah.
very, very pleasant experience. But typically, when you file it premium processing, government might come back with more questions or they might not. If they come back, you prepare an answer, then you file it again. In 2 weeks, they'll make a decision. You could have filed the 485 together with the I-140 because most of the times the dates are current. If the dates are current, you can file them all together. Maybe in a year and a half, you have everything done. But I prefer you do the I-140 first. Make sure that you got the approval rather than spending the money. So within a few weeks, you know whether you won or not. Then it's only a question of filing your 485. So it could be as early as a year or less because there's an interview. But if they remove the interview, it could be 4 days.
Hmm. Yeah. That's awesome. Do you know when they're scheduling marriage-based green card interviews again? I'm kind of waiting for it.
Actually, there is State Department has issued a couple of circulars. I haven't read them yet.
Hmm.
State Department has issued a couple of circulars today, just 2 hours ago.
Okay.
And because I was waiting to hang out with you guys, so I didn't read them. I have
Okay.
all weekend to read them.
Okay.
I'll update people.
All right. Okay. Next question is from Durga. When will dual intention rule come in effect for F1 visa? Can we expect for this fall? No, I think.
It's very unlikely.
Yeah.
See, first of all, this is not the law yet. This is just a bill. We have the same bill being introduced, same wording being introduced to Senate and House at the same time. So if both chambers pass the bill, there will definitely be some changes.
Hmm.
Okay. Then if there are changes, then those changes have to be reconciled between the House and the Senate. Okay. Now, in between, if they want to hold hearings to gather evidence, that could take 6 months, 8 months, 1 year. We don't know.
Yeah.
So it all depends upon how these variables pan out. Don't hope for September. I think it's unlikely. By December, next January, maybe. I can't really predict that.
Yeah. Maybe next fall, but yeah. Okay. Next one is from Virat. My dad is a H1B holder. Will I also be eligible for H4 EAD as his son, or does it apply for only for spouse?
I haven't seen the law personally. I know that I glanced through it real quickly. I don't think they have added children, but I'll double check for you. Good point. Yudi, can you just email me that question?
Yeah.
I will update on LinkedIn or my own blog.
Yes. There we go. Okay. Let me just copy the question real quick.
Yeah,
There.
we can take a look at it, take it from there.
Yeah. Got it. Cool. Next question is from Pratik. Is there any issues for H1B through job? I'm planning for fall 2020. Is it good this year? Yeah. there's no problem.
Well, you know what? I have a question to answer that is coming up a lot. So people keep asking me, can we do multiple registrations if we
For
have three job
H1B.
offers? Yeah.
Hmm.
If we have three job offers, can we do three registrations? And the answer is yes. As long as the companies are not related, not the same project, no interlocking directorship, ownership. Relationship is described very, very broadly. So if the companies are complete strangers, I don't see why not. You can. Then the next question that is being asked is, once I win the lottery, what if I win the lottery from two people? These are people who are
Mm-hmm.
extremely optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
What if I win lottery from two or three of my sources? Can they process all three of them, process my H1B? Yes, they can. Do I have to take any one particular one? Whichever comes first? No. You can choose whichever one you want to take. You can take one. Then the second one gets approved. You can leave this one and go to the second one. Third one gets approved, go to the third one. But keep in mind, if you have signed any contracts, you could be held to them. Although contracts restricting employment are not really easy to enforce under H1B laws, but be careful about that. And also, if you try to game the system by just having a lot of
Multiple entries, yeah.
and multiple entries to game with inappropriate intentions. If it is an honest intention, you got 4 genuine jobs, by all means go for it. If
Mm-hmm.
you have 10 genuine jobs, go for it because the law allows it. But if you're doing it just because the company says, well, we'll put you in the lottery and then we'll deal with it, then maybe not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Next one is Shubhas is asking, since Joe Biden revoked Trump's ban on many green card application of last year, does this impact the employment-based green card application, which became current recently?
Yeah, it could. Because remember, part of the reason, that's a good observation. I hadn't thought of that because I've been busy thinking of 10,000 other things. That's a good observation. It will affect. Because think about it, why did the dates become current all of a sudden? Part of it was that the demand died at the consulates.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next one. My Vishnu is asking, my case is at NVC. When can I expect the interview date? I don't know what that means, but
I think what he's talking about is it's a green card process that's going through consular processing. And he wants to know when will my file arrive in my country so that I can go for the interview.
mm,
Okay. And NVC processing times should be on their website. Take a look at them. But local processing times, because the file goes from NVC to the consulate, local processing times are still being phased in. Again, there's a circular on that today from the State Department, how they plan to implement full restoration to full service.
okay. All right. Next one is from Rahul Rajivji. Can EAD be denied if L2 dependent is outside USA? Dependent was in USA when the EAD was filed.
For the H4, so this is the question. If I filed for an L2 or an H4 extension and filed my EAD along with that, can I leave the United States? I know that for H4, the government allows it, and your EAD is not automatically, from what I remember, it is not automatically thrown out. I don't think L2 has that definitive an answer. Double check with the USCIS. I always call, our office also calls their customer service for issues that are so weird that nobody knows the answer. I am pretty sure it's not in the regulations. I can look at the regulations also when I have time, but it's not going to be soon. Call your own lawyers. They get paid for it. Let them do it.
Yeah. Okay. Rohit is asking, if my old employer offer letter contains my employment dates from September 21st, 2020 to June 30th, 2021. So what end date shall I put in SEVP portal as I got a new job and I'm joining a new company?
That's your DSO question, my friend.
Yeah.
Also, it's a question you can look up. I like that website. I don't know why people are not using it. Studyinthestates.gov. because the study in the, if you just type in Google study in the States, one word, that website comes up. The reason I like that website, I think it's studyinthestates.dhs.gov. Okay.
Study in the States .gov.
.dhs.gov or something like that.
Okay.
Did it show up?
I typed .gov. Now I'm trying .dhs.gov. No, still not.
So how about studyinthestates.com?
Let me just Google it, see what comes up.
Yeah, just Google study in the States.
Oh, study in the States. Sorry, I missed I just typed study in States.
I'm so glad you don't code.
I don't. I manage the people who code.
We could be looking for those bugs forever.
Yeah. All right. So here's the website. They can see it. You can't see it.
Here's what I like about this website. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, it's run by the government.
Yeah.
Remember, whatever the government website says, it has the force of law. If it is written here, it is the law. Make a copy of it if you're taking some action based upon the information there, and keep it. Date it, what date you took the copy or screenshot, and keep it. Okay.
Yeah.
I also
this
like
is
the fact
amazing. Yeah.
it's an amazing website. I don't know why people are not using it. They keep asking me these questions. So it also tells you how to fill these forms.
Right. It
So
does.
it also tells you how DSO fills out these forms.
Hmm.
So it actually has angularity. Also, it's almost like it repurposes itself based upon who you are. If you are a DSO, you get a different view of the website.
Right.
It repurposes the information. So
Yeah,
use that site a lot. It's a good site.
Definitely. It's amazing. I didn't know that. Well, now people know. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, moving on. Somebody's asking, can you summarize? We just talked about it. You have to rewatch the live session after the video is done.
Can I just mention the sweetest question I heard last week from a Chinese student? He says to me, he sends me an email. He says, Rajiv, is the DSO supposed to be a friend or an enemy of the students?
It depends. How did you answer? How did you answer it?
I said it exactly what you said. I said it depends. I think most DSOs are very concerned about students' welfare.
Yeah.
They try to do the best they can with very complicated procedures and regulations.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are DSOs out there who are just jackasses.
Yeah. All right. Next one is okay. Gurjot is asking, if I'm going for summer 2021 in April and in the same month got admission in a better university for fall 2021, can I know I can change my I-20 in US itself, but what will happen to my stay from April to August?
Well, you obviously cannot be outside the school, right? Because you can enter the school and be in between programs only for a certain period of time. What that period is, studyinthestates.gov or ask your DSO. I don't know what the period is.
Okay. When...
Oh, one more question. One second. Another thing I would want to know is, I've got my visa stamp through this university, but I'm going to go land in another university. Is it okay to use that visa with a preconceived intention? That's another issue to discuss with the DSO. And what I would do is, if I were this gentleman, I would talk to the DSO of the transferring and as well as the acquiring school, both of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, especially like I have classmates who were in Chico State and they moved to different university, but
you can do that when you're inside the US.
Right.
Okay? But if you enter with the intention of using this visa to enter, but joining the other university, is that appropriate? I do not know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'll give you an example, a parallel. So let's say that you went to India for 6 months and you lost your H-1B job, but you got the H-1B stamp from the old employer. Okay. Now you enter the United States showing the government the old employer's H-1B approval and the old employer's H-1B visa. That's fraud because you don't have that job. Okay. If on the other hand, you had a new approval and the old employer's visa, it would be okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next question is Kush is asking, I think a little controversial. Rajiv ji, why is Joe Biden so concerned about unskilled, undocumented immigrants, even though skilled migrants contribute more to the economy? Wouldn't his
Well,
rule encourage illegal immigration?
you see, the biggest difference between Trump and Biden so far has been that Trump was the president of 32% or 34% hardcore people who voted for him. Biden is the president of the whole country. So when you make policy, you don't make policy keeping skewed priorities. Because remember, the farming states need their labor as well. Okay. There was a time when I got into an argument with somebody about, and I learned a thing or two. I definitely had to eat the humble pie because this guy says, I said to him, we are what 70 or 80% of the economy, we the non-farming states. But he says, well, then we are the 90% of the food. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the percentages are, but it's disproportionately large amount of money we generate in the blue states that the red states use. But it's not really red state blue, it's the same country, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't govern, this is red state, I'm going to govern it differently. When you're the president of the entire country.
Yeah.
Okay. So therefore, to say that the needs of Silicon Valley are greater than the needs of tobacco plantations is not really being fair. Everybody has their own needs and everybody has their own necessities that need to be satisfied. And the president has to make sure that the policy works for everybody as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Okay, that was a good question. Oh, Tushar is asking, is it possible to get H4 for a single parent?
H4 for a single parent? No, you can't get an H4. So your mom is in India, she's alone. Get her a tourist visa, and you can keep extending that tourist visa if you can show that there's nobody else taking care of her. I've got to have her with me. That works. That works most times. If you actually go and read 9 Foreign Affairs Manual, 9 FAM 42, Section 42 is visas. If you go read that, under B visas, this is actually an accepted use of a B visa, where your relative can't qualify for the derivative, but they are so close in relationship that it's unfair to keep them out.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is from Bala, is asking, are international students allowed to work in government for cybersecurity roles, or does government or companies prefer US citizens mostly when compared?
They have to, actually. The funny thing is, when I got out of law school, I had a job offer from FDIC, and I'm so glad I didn't go there. Because I used to work there as a lawyer when I was still on H-1B. I was doing some consulting for them.
Mm-hmm.
It was great money, but it was very boring. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all figures and finances all day. And I'm not figures and finances kind of guy. So they looked into taking me on board, even as a green card holder. I think it was either I was on H-1B. I think I was on a green card then. And they figured out that technically a non-citizen can be hired. They just can't pay me. Why? Because green card and citizenship have the same dignity for most jobs, but certain jobs or certain categories of jobs for the last, I don't know, many years, decades, in the appropriations bill, Congress says, if you hire non-citizens for these jobs, we won't pay you any money. So in other words, I can be hired, I just can't be paid. So, but there are jobs for which you can be hired and you can be paid, even within the government. And there might even be waivers available. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't looked for a job for 30 years. So I don't really know exactly how it works. But that used to be one of the problems. And if you were from one of the NATO countries, there was no problem because there were special dispensations for NATO countries. So maybe we should talk to Mr. Modi and see if we can become a member of NATO.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next one is I am a lawyer in India thinking to do JD in US, interested in IPR. What are my chances in US? I have no idea what of all those means.
I don't know what IPR means. I'm thinking it's intellectual property. But for intellectual property, you need a technical degree, unless you want to be just a litigator and you're not going to do any patent prosecution. Do I recommend that an Indian lawyer come to the United States? That depends. If I were in India as a lawyer and I worked in the Supreme Court and the kind of life I have now, I would always come to the United States. No question about that. What are the reasons? Number one, I don't waste time with nonsense. I remember one time I had to go to Tisuzari Court, the Delhi local courts.
Mm-hmm.
I wasted a whole day waiting for the judge to show up. Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they told me, oh no, the judge is not coming today. What kind of nonsense is that? I've been sitting here all day. Okay. I had to do a filing for one of our colleagues used to go to the lower courts. It was ridiculous. Even in the Supreme Court, there were things that were so time consuming and unnecessary, but we spent a lot of time on them. I'm sure they've changed by now, just like things have changed here. When I came here, we had to walk all the papers down to Washington, D.C. to file a lawsuit. Now we just do it over the computer.
Yeah.
So would I come? Yes. But then I was willing to work 18 hours a day. I had no problem with that. Can you work 18 hours a day? Do you think you can carry the load of a full JD? It's a lot of work. JD
What is JD means?
Juris Doctor is the degree. It's the like LLB in India.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So JD is the first degree in law, first professional degree, then LLM. The problem with JD is, remember, it is law school in USA is as difficult as medical school. Don't think medical school is a lot longer, but law school, the education is as difficult as it is in medical school. So don't expect easy stuff. It's not going to be that easy.
Yeah.
If you're willing to work hard and take a little bit of a chance, because ultimately sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But at least most lawyers that I know are doing fairly well. So would I advise it? I would advise, if you're adventurous, give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. I would have said yes, but
yeah, but it's not a simple yes.
No, it is not. No. Okay. Next one is from Nalini, is asking H1B fingerprint and EAD in process. Can EAD in
H1B
process?
fingerprints? I don't think H1B has any fingerprinting. I don't get involved with that detail, but as far as I know, only H4 has fingerprinting, right?
I can't even remember. Mine was like 5-6 years ago. 5 years.
No,
ago.
I think they're only doing fingerprinting for H4s and H4 EADs actually.
Okay,
No,
lost the question.
only H4, not H4 EAD, only H4.
Okay. Anyway, I lost the question now. There are so many
Yeah,
other
so
questions.
I'm sorry, Nalini. I don't think you need. You didn't find the question? It's gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Can you find it again?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So her question is the H1B fingerprint and EAD in process can change employers.
Okay. So first
or
of all,
need to wait for 6 months after file.
Okay. So I think what she's asking, and I could be wrong, Nalini ji, what you're saying is, I am on my H4 and H4 EAD is being processed. My husband's H1, he wants to change jobs. Is this going to be a problem? I don't think it is. I've had these situations come up. I don't remember exactly what happened, but just knowing the law in general, I don't see how this could be a problem because you are not attached to his job. You are attached to his status. If he maintains H1 status, your H4 should go on unimpeded.
Okay. All right. Next one is when will H1B lottery be removed to merit-based H1B?
Well, if this bill gets passed, it's not merit-based, it's money-based. When this bill gets passed, the Department of Labor and USCIS will then have the authority, but not the command, to institute a wage-based selection process. The problem is, how do you select the wages? Because somebody with the IT in the IT industry with lower skills than somebody who's a researcher with much higher skills with a PhD could be making a lot less money. Okay. So I remember when Java first came out, Java programmers were making $500 an hour. Okay. On Wall Street.
Yeah.
And I had a guy, a doctor with 3 specializations, who was making $220 an hour moonlighting. He would work all night and get $220 an hour. How fair is that? But that was the law. So high school students were making $500 an hour, who just learned coding. They were doing well.
Yeah.
I mean, they were not engineers. They were not designing, but they were just coding. So I don't know how they would institute a wage-based system. Beats me.
Okay. Next one is from Ravi. Is asking, I want to apply F2 visa for my wife who is in India working, and I will be graduating this March. What will be the best time to apply for her, considering finances?
Repeat that question. I'm lost. Considering
He,
finances.
yeah, so he's on F1 visa. He's graduating this March, and his wife is on. So his wife is in India working, and he wants to apply for F2 visa for her to come to United States. When should he apply, considering finances? I
That
don't know.
depends upon how long you want to party on. I mean, if you want to come on home and not have all your buddies over for beers every other day.
Yeah.
I mean, that depends upon how soon you want. I don't think there's a legal
But she
issue.
will, but he will graduate. Yeah, he will
But he's
graduate.
going to OPT, right? Or
Yeah,
OPT and STEM OPT. So I don't think that's any different.
right. Unless he has a job offer and that job is already applying for this March season. H1.
Well, even then, it should not make a difference to the F2, right? Because he's still on F1.
Right. Right. Okay. Yep. That makes sense. Next one is, will they give, Rajiv is asking, will they give temporary visa for F4 visa holders?
F4 visa? Oh, is he talking about family-based green cards and V visa?
All it says, will they give temporary visa for F4 visa holders?
Yeah, I think it's family-based category 4. By the way, excellent name. Rajiv is a good name for it. For any young man.
I love the small nuggets which you put.
You know what Rajiv means? Rajiv means lotus. What is lotus? The flower of wisdom. Are dude?
Do you know what Yudi means? I have no idea.
No, Yudi means don't kill me. I'm just doing my job. Yudi is more like an excuse. No, I don't know what Yudi means. So yeah, there is a V visa, and I'm not sure how exactly they're going to implement them, but I can tell you the last time we had V visas. Last time we had V visas it used to work like this. So once you file the I-130, which is the first step in the green card process, and you wait a certain number of months, if you don't have your approval, you can come to the United States on V visa. And that shortened the separation. I think it was 12 months. That shortened the separation, and V visa, you could land and you could start and you could work here and do everything that everybody else was doing. And you could adjust status in the United States. So they are implementing something like that.
Okay. Next one is from Harsha Deep asking, can I travel to India if STEM EAD approved, H1B picked in lottery, but not filed with USCIS? Until when can the company file for H1B once picked in the lottery?
Okay, first of all, I don't remember what I have written. I have a chart drawn. If you go to my LinkedIn page or even to my blog, I've drawn a detailed chart of when you can travel, when it is not advised, when it is, so I don't remember exactly what I wrote. But if I remember correctly, so you've got your STEM approved. Now you're traveling. Yeah, as long as you have a job offer and you can prove that you've been working, you should be able to travel, but check with your DSO always. That's the beginning and the end of every student conversation. Check with your DSO, make sure they've got it right. And I think your DSO is your friend. I do think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Because most people do these jobs not because they're getting paid big bucks. It's because they feel good about what they do.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least the GSOs that I know are very much on the ball. They are very good with the law, and they definitely know more procedures than I do. Okay. So going back to the travel, remember when they actually file the H-1B petition, not the lottery. Lottery doesn't matter. For that, you could be here, you could be in Timbuktu, we don't care. But when they actually file the H-1B, you have to be in the United States. Okay. And then there is a restriction. In that same chart, on the left-hand side, I've drawn the H-1B travel. On the right-hand side, F1, OPT, etc. travel. So go look for that chart. I think I did a good job.
You did. You did.
You don't even know what I'm talking about.
No,
Really.
I know. I was trying to pull up, but I was like, I couldn't find it easily. So that's like,
Okay.
but
Yeah, give
okay,
me another 3 weeks and we'll have our own website completely upgraded. They are still working on it.
nice. If you need developers, let me know.
Well, actually, we have a developer and we have in-house full-time people.
Doing
So
just IT?
we have one full-time person doing just IT. I always call her our CTO, Monica.
CTO. Nice.
She's been with the firm, I think, like 20 years.
Nice.
She knows everything about IT, at least the way we use it.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is Logesh is asking, I'm only supposed to get J1 due to my scholarship, with which I'm supposed to get back home for 2 years after my master's.
Right, right.
Any chance with the bill for J1 visa cancellation or any other lenient
You
way?
know, there isn't anything that I remember reading, but then I didn't read the whole thing because of the severe headache that it gave me. And I'm hoping that somebody else does the job and I can go read it. And then I can read the provision. So that's how I normally do it. I let American Immigration Lawyers Association give me the
The better
summary, and
version.
then I
Yeah.
go and it's just too much work otherwise. Okay, now understand J1 visas are like dinosaurs. They should have gone extinct a long time ago. They don't belong in any modern system of immigration jurisprudence. We started J1 visas, as I understand it, back when we still were at Cold War with the Eastern Bloc, with Russia, East Germany. And the idea was if we bring people here from these countries and similar countries, or actually all over the world, they come and do their stuff, whether they are scholars, teachers, students, doctors, they do their stuff, and then they go home to their country for 2 years before they can do anything else here. They can't change, they can't get green card, they can't do anything. Then they become emissaries, messengers of our culture and our goodwill to their countries. So if somebody from Bhimgarh, Haryana comes and studies in New York, he will carry back good memories of New York to Bhimgarh, and he'll say, I have friends in New York. That was the idea. So the Eastern Bloc is gone. We don't have any of those threats any longer. But the J1 visa home residency requirement still exists. Why? What are we trying to do? But it's there. And you have to get a waiver. And there are only 4 ways to get a waiver. Interested government agency, federal government agency, asylum type, that if I go home, they'll kill me. Some of these you can do because you can get no objection from your home country. And what is the 4th one? Extreme and exceptional hardship to a US citizen or green card holding spouse or child. So those are the only 4 ways you can get a waiver. Otherwise, 2 years back home. Only you have an exemption. O1, people who had J1 can get O1 without 2 years, and they can get TN if they're Canadian citizens without the waiver.
Okay.
But they can't get green card without the waiver.
Got it. Okay. Next one was a very good question. I forgot. There are so many. Lost it. Okay, never mind. Skipping to another one. Shruti is asking, I'm a F1 OPT EAD holder and working full time right now. I have a part-time offer which is related to my field of study. Is it okay to do 2 jobs if my employers agree?
Is she on STEM, she says?
She's on OPT EAD. Assuming
If it's first year OPT, you can have 7 jobs. That's fine.
you can do more than 40 hours?
Yeah, why not? But check with your DSO what you need to fill out in your in your SEBIP entries.
And if she is on STEM, then only one job.
I think she might be able to do more than one, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that would work. I've never done one of those. But I can, looking in my own head on the regulations, as long as you inform the DSO, get proper permissions, couldn't you do it? Why can't you go more than 40 hours? I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I My favorite case is of guy who had three H1Bs at the same time, three concurrent H1Bs. He was working 120 hours each week. Government says, how can you do that? When I filed the third one, I said, well, he is a senior DBA. He carries three pagers, but he only works 2 hours a week. He's
Oh,
on call.
yeah. Hmm.
He's on call with three companies.
Okay. Next one is from Saad. Is asking, I did apply for F1 on 17th February. It got denied, and they also cancelled my B1, B2. Is there still chance? How much gap should I give between my first and second interview?
I wouldn't put too much time into it. I would either wait for a change in the law or look at other countries.
Okay.
Difficult to overcome a 214B denial. I'm assuming it was a denial based upon immigrant intent, 214B. Difficult to overcome that. That's
Hmm.
just a nonsense phrase that says, we don't like you, we're not going to give you the visa.
Yeah.
It's not that you're not a nice guy, but on that day, that consular officer did like you.
Yeah. Next one is Rajiv ji. What is the scope for accounting STEM graduate in USA after
Okay.
completing CPA?
You mean job scope, right? So for that, you want to go to Bureau of Labor Statistics, bls.gov, and read up their prediction. They give predictions about every profession. It's going to increase, it's going to
Like
decrease.
all this new fancy thing you're like bringing up. What is that?
Yeah, they have
BLM?
excellent stats. bls.gov, Bureau of Labor Statistics.gov. Excellent. They will even have, if you do a Google search, for example, data engineer site colon dot bls.gov, they have these write-ups, complete pamphlets. They've done studies, how well the data engineers are going to do, what kind of jobs are going to be more in demand. I was looking at AI yesterday
Hmm.
because we were doing a justification for a perm application. They had excellent stuff. Very good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But in general, CPA, I think they make a lot of money.
Oh, I think accountants are in short supply. At least that is how it was the last time I checked a few years ago.
Hmm. Yep. Okay. Next one is from Anmol asking.
And the way Republicans are being investigated for financial crimes, lot of work for CPAs
CPAs.
who can audit and who can do forensic accounting.
Nice. Next one is from Anmol asking, I'm on F2 visa, have approved I-140 on EB3 category, and now
Hmm,
applying for H-1B this year. Hope
hmm.
to get lucky. Oh, shoot. Uh, Sorry, I lost it. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. Hope to get lucky. My question is, my priority date is April 2015. Any chance the date will get current by October? No, roll the dice. Yeah. No, we can't predict it. Okay, next question is from Atish asking, can my current company take more than one H1B extension based on my previous employer I-140 EB
Oh
to
yes,
India?
oh yes, oh yes. The way this works is, if your I-140 stayed approved for 180 days after approval, and one of those days happens to be January 17th, 2017 or later, any company can keep extending your H1 unless your priority date becomes current, at which time, if 1 year it remains current and you haven't filed 485, you have to explain to the government why you did not file. Okay.
Hmm.
But general answer, again, there's no simple answer. General answer is yes, another company can use your I-140 approval to get extensions as many times as they need, as long as the dates don't become current.
Hmm. Okay.
And then it gets a little tricky.
Next question was very interesting. I have a startup, and what if I want to expand it? while doing my masters, and I have a startup in India and I want to come to United States for my masters. Can I expand it in United States?
So he wants to sit in the US and work in India.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. And the answer is, I have no idea. I'll tell you why. Because on the one hand, you're not taking away any American jobs. You're not working on any American business on the American soil. But I've heard my colleagues, other lawyers say that you guys, if any part of your job is connected with USA, for example, you are selling fine handicrafts in USA, although the company is in India, what you're doing is you're generating income in USA. So that's unauthorized.
Hmm.
But if you are sitting in USA, no part of the money comes through USA, you are selling in Russia or I don't know, Pakistan or Afghanistan, whatever you are doing, as long as it has nothing to do with USA, maybe that's more legal than the money coming through. So the answer is I do not know, and I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is sorry, weird question. What are H-1B laws for tech-based jobs in cannabis tech domain?
In cannabis, well, cannabis is a crime federally, but it is allowed in many states. So immigration is federal. Anything you do with cannabis is federal offense. Don't.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole. We have a client who's got a cannabis conviction just for possession. It's
Hmm.
legal in Virginia, but I can't have him file for citizenship. If he tries to file for citizenship, they'll deny it. They might even go after his green card.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is my son Salim is asking, my son has is completed masters in engineering from Chico, California. That's interesting. And presently working in one small company, but they are not allowing to opt H-1B visa. Is there any way to apply? So I guess the company is not filing his H-1B.
Yeah, you can't. You need an employer. You can't file an H-1B without an employer, right?
Yeah. Also, who's the son? I want to meet if he's in Chico, California. All right. Next one is Sharad is asking, I'm an Indian student doing PhD in USA, biomedical. How much research paper citation I need to have to qualify for EB1A or EB1B?
Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Join us. We will talk about it.
Yeah.
Only EB1 is nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah. Next question is Aryan is asking, I'm on F1 visa OPT. My company will file H1B petition this year. My question is, during H1B petition, my petition only my spouse H4 petition files simultaneously or will be filed once I win the H1B lottery?
Um, I kind of understood the question. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me. So when you file for the lottery, your wife's name is nowhere except in your heart. It does not come into the picture. It does not get put down on the paper.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you file the H1, at that time, it's a smart idea to file for her H4 as well.
Okay. So after the is been picked, right? Okay. Next question is from Rohan asking, will there be an issue in H1B transfer if my new company is offering the same salary as a previous company?
No problem at all. They can even offer a lesser salary. As long as it meets the prevailing wages, no problem.
Okay. How much time do you have left? I mean, I
So I have
think.
all the time. I'm done for the afternoon.
Oh,
Now I
nice.
did my last. That's how I always set up my Thursdays for you.
Okay. Okay. Nice. All right. I have about 10 minutes and then we'll
Yeah,
wrap up.
let's keep going until we can go no more.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll talk on Saturday. Saturday, we are not going to touch anything except EB1A.
Yep. Correct.
We have to figure out how to make the presentation. I don't know what is the best way to do it. Well, we'll talk about this later. Let's
Yeah.
finish this call.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is from. Okay. Uh, Sorry. Rajiv is the same guy who asked before. Is asking, will having a F4 visa hinder my chances of getting a F1 visa if I want to come for fall 2021?
I've said this so many times. My own nephew got an F1 visa when his F4 was pending. He's in New York right now.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is from Hirsch asking, I'm an F1 visa student applying for previous J1 waiver for 212E rule.
Yeah, that's the rule we talked about. In a fancy language, that's just the 2 year go home rule,
Hmm.
212B requirement.
So NY embassy needs my original passport via mail. Via mail? Is it safe or should I go to NY?
I would do it FedEx or any of those reliable couriers. Although FedEx has screwed up 6 of our packages last year during H1B and another 3 packages the year before that. But some of it you can't help. I think going to New York would be crazy. I think you should just,
Use like
unless you live in
UPS
upstate
or
New York, it's a 2 hour drive. You can probably go.
yeah.
But if you have to drive 8 hours to get to New York, that's unnecessary, in my opinion. I personally think that um, both UPS as well as FedEx should be reasonably reliable.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds scary to send passport someone through mail. But I think all the Canada people does it, right? If they
All the
want it.
time,
Yeah.
all the
Okay. Next one is from Pramod. How challenging is it to go from H4 to F1, provided I had a cancellation on my B1 B2 visa before getting H4?
Well, if you are in the United States, that cancellation should not matter unless that was a cancellation for fraud or misrepresentation. If it was a cancellation just because that day you were looking like you're going to stay in the US, that's a different situation. That doesn't affect your change of status.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next one is from Aman. Can I do internship while being physically in India for a US based company? I'm on F1 visa right now and don't have CPD. What are kind of
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
tax and immigration
Absolutely. You are
implication?
sitting in your home country. You can do any number of internships you want.
Yeah. Uh, do, 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 do. Trying to look for the one. Oh, okay, yeah. Uh, Om is asking. I think that's how it's pronounced. AUM.
Yeah,
Different way.
that's actually the correct pronunciation of Om. It's A U Ma or A U A. It's not Om. It's
Yeah.
Ao.
Do you meditate?
I used to teach Raj Yoga.
Oh, nice. That's how you know a lot of spiritual things, I think.
I have no life.
Okay. All right. Back to the question of home. What is the situation for F4 category visas? Where will the intake of family increase? Will the intake of family increase? My filing date is October 2006 and it's been 14 years since then.
Yeah, see, I can't predict any of that. Unfortunately, when you talk about 14 years, probably it's a sibling based petition, brother applying for sister or vice versa, or brother applying for brother. That just takes a long time. So
Yeah.
hopefully, I don't know the impact of the new laws or potential laws. We'll find out. But right now, there is nothing that can help you.
Yeah.
By the way, you can have green cards going in more than one category. So if you have another category, for example, EB5 or L1, EB1C type category, you are a businessman. You could go through 10 different categories at the same time. Whichever comes first, you get that.
Hmm. Okay. Next one is from Sean asking, currently on first year of OPT, STEM OPT. If I get my H1B this year and if I want to switch companies from contractor to full time, how complicated is that
Not
process?
complicated.
Not
It's
complicated. Yeah.
it's not complicated. It's as long as all the requirements are met. So I'm assuming I'm keeping out of our computation variables such as what kind of degree do you have, what kind of money you are getting, is the job a professional job. Leaving all that aside, the ease of getting a transfer is just as much as doing an extension or an amendment.
Hmm. Yeah.
Not difficult.
Okay. Next one is, oh, I see this. Watsal is asking, I'll be coming this fall in United States for my mechanical engineering F1 visa. What are the plus points for getting in this early visa? Wise in long term, my age is 18 years. I don't understand the question, but
If you are 18 years old, you don't have to worry about anything. Just chill, man. Come to USA, you'll be fine.
yeah. Okay. Next one is Jasmine is asking. I'm on F1 CPT and married to a US citizen, and my graduation is in May 2021. Do I need to apply for further education while waiting for my EAD through green card?
Not at all. When you are married to a US citizen, you are pretty much the daughter-in-law of Uncle Sam. Okay. So you enjoy a lot of rights that a lot of ordinary mortals don't. And once your I-130, 485 are filed, you can quit school and take up knitting, or you can take up karate, whatever works for you. You don't even have to go to school. You can just sit at home if you want. But
But
with the 485 pending, you should be able to go to school also. Don't even need F1.
okay, but so what visa they will be on?
That's called authorized period of stay. When you
Oh.
have a 485 pending, that's called authorized period of stay. It's the little brother of status.
Okay. And only if she wants to work, she definitely needs EAD, right?
Okay. So conceive of
And your
the
voice is
green
breaking out.
card as gives you the right to stay in the United States as long as the 485 is pending. On the
Can you
second
repeat it
story,
because I
you
think
have
your
two
voice.
rooms.
Can you repeat it because it looks
Okay.
like the
All right.
internet.
So I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, my connectivity here is 1 gigabyte. I just measured it. It's giving me 600 megs. What is it? 600 megabits.
Yeah.
I just changed my routers. Really good router, actually.
It's probably
Okay, so
mine. Yeah.
you have the same type.
No, no, I'm
I don't
saying
want to say that the name.
it's probably my internet which is broken.
Okay. So going back to what we were talking about, remind me, what were we talking about?
Green card EAD. She
Okay.
needs EAD
So
to work. Yeah.
consider 485 to be the first floor of the house. When you have the 485, you can live in that house. You can stay as long as it's pending. On the second floor, there are two rooms. One has employment authorization, which is EAD. When you get that, in addition to being able to stay, you can walk up to that room and start working.
Hmm.
And there's another room on that floor, which is advanced parole. When you get that, you can also travel. So 485 gives you the right to stay. EAD gives you the right also to work. And advanced parole gives you the right also to travel.
Okay. And advanced pro, is there a form number or like a
I-131.
I-131? Okay. All right. I'm just looking at mine. What I have. uh,
Yeah, all those hundreds of people are waiting. They can wait while Yudi plays Candy Crush.
Candy. No, no, no. I was looking at my like I have three petitions, right? Like one for green card, one for I-485. So I was trying to understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one is can someone get a job in software industry if they have no computer science degree? Yes, as long as you have the skills.
If they have 3 years of experience, if they have 3 years of experience, I didn't hear you. Last thing I heard was, if I don't have a degree, can I just do a job in software anyway? And the answer is, it's only software, sure. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, any degree, pretty much with 3 years of experience, could qualify you as equivalent to information systems.
Okay. For some reason, I think it's my internet. Looks like my internet is super slow,
Yeah,
or like
you're getting
it's
flaky over there.
yeah. So I think we'll end it right here. I might have to restart my router. Okay, I think if people are still here, then thank you for joining. We'll meet again on Saturday morning. Thanks, Rajiv ji.
Saturday.
Yep.
Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye.